Claire's back. We haven't seen her in a year.
It's not how that joke works. I haven't seen you since last year.
No. It's I haven't seen you in a year because I haven't seen you in a year.
No, because it's still a year is 365 days.
No, a
But-
year is whatever it is on the calendar. So last time I saw you was 2024.
Yeah. So
It
you
is
saw
now
me,
2025. I haven't seen you in a year.
you saw
So
me
today we are
last-
talking about a film that Isaac has wanted to speak about for a very, very long time.
Mhm.
A
Is it?
film that
Yeah.
Claire has wanted to speak about for a very, very
This
long
is also
time.
true.
A film that we have been teasing for a very, very long time.
Well,
We've talked about The Godfather.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about Godfather Part 2.
We
Yep.
talked about Chinatown.
We've done
talked about
Interstellar at least 3 times.
We've done a Godfather Part 3.
We did Godfather
begrudgingly.
Part 3
Begrudgingly.
begrudgingly. Yep. And now it's time to add to that same roster. We're talking about Sky High.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko. I watched the wrong movie.
We watched the wrong
Oh, no.
movie. Yikes.
I
We
didn't sign
watched
up
the
for that one.
wrong teenage angst movie. Yikes.
Jim, that's a great intro. Did you think of that just now, or did you work on that this morning?
I thought of it as I was listening to you guys talk about what a year is.
Awesome.
A
Sky
discussion
High.
that's to be tabled.
Yes.
But you're wrong.
Anyways,
Sky High.
Sky High.
Sky High.
Sky High.
Thanks for watching.
Catch you guys next time.
It's a good one. No, I think
I'm
it's.
cutting here.
I was actually thinking about this on the way over. I was like, how do I describe Sky High in one sentence? Like, just,
Mhm.
log line. Give me the log line.
Yeah. The elevator pitch.
I didn't think of one, but I thought of another way to describe this movie.
Okay, go on.
Probably the single movie that people in our generation, I would say 28 to 22, maybe even 21, 20, I would argue 90% of people have seen this movie.
So you're just saying it's the most watched
Yes.
movie
Yes.
of that generation?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Like,
could see
not
that.
everybody watches Transformers. Not
No.
everybody watches Star Wars. I still run into people who are like, Star Wars is whack. And I'm like, okay, it's not 1975. Like, get with the
like,
times.
grow up.
People don't watch Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter, it's a book. People are
Mhm.
not learning to read at a great rate in modern America.
Not-
Catcher in the Rye, that was like last century.
Uh-huh.
So like
High School
to
Musical.
me-
A lot of people didn't watch that.
what you go up to anybody our age group between that bracket that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Everybody's at least knows of it and has probably seen it at least once,
Yeah.
if not many a times.
And most of them probably don't remember it, and then you say the word, it's Sky High, and their brain like reconnects.
Or
and
you
they're just like,
literally just say the superhero movie with a high school, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Now, do you think part of that is just because of the proliferation of Disney Channel
Yes,
during our
Yeah,
childhood,
yeah.
during
Yes.
that era?
100%.
Yeah.
because even
I agree,
like,
yeah.
I don't remember this movie particularly being on TV often, though.
oh, I remember it on TV like once
Really?
a month.
I don't remember it being
At
on
least-
TV ever.
I saw it because we rented it from
Yeah.
like Blockbuster.
Yeah, yeah. I think mine was
Like,
Redbox.
I
or
saw
something.
it on
That's
DVD.
all I've ever seen it on is TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it on video. I've never seen it on the theaters.
Well,
I don't even
still
know if it
seen
had a theatrical release. I'm sure it did.
Oh,
But
God,
I
know.
have only ever seen this movie. I think honestly, I could probably remember, and I'm thinking right now, like
it was theatrically released.
It was.
watching the premiere on
cool.
Disney
Really?
Channel. I feel like I remember watching this.
I feel like I remember the promos for it,
Mhm.
but not watching it.
Yeah,
I was not a big Disney Channel original movie person.
yeah. You
growing
were a
up.
Cartoon Network
Yeah,
Yeah,
kiddo.
the better option.
but I do remember
Well-
watching the trailers and promo material for it.
Mhm.
I think that was partially what led to me watching it on DVD eventually down the road. And also, I did like comics and I like superheroes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that part was at least up my alley.
And if ever there is a good representation of superheroes, it's Sky High. And I say that with not a single shred
I was
of
gonna say-
sarcasm. Like that is a genuine.
I was gonna
heartfelt
say,
statement.
unironically,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Like.
It's
I
like, did I
was-
accept? Do
yeah.
I take the bait? Do I take it?
It's
Just-
no,
just
there wasn't
sitting
bait there. That's
It's
just my
no bait.
genuine
it was
opinion.
It was a dummy bait. It was a fake worm.
You could take Sky High and almost any other piece of superhero media, and I'd probably put Sky High above it.
Yes.
And I like again, I'm not saying it as a
Well,
bait. Like
Jury's still out on Army Hammer's The Dark Knight, A Dark Knight, which is set to
I said
release
almost.
next year.
yeah,
What?
like I said almost. Like there's
Oh. Well, that was a joke because
Yeah.
Army Hammer is coming out with a movie called A Dark Knight, and it's the same thing as the Dark. Anyways, that's
Moving
besides the point.
Why do you think that?
okay.
Tell us why you're
With-
wrong. Is what James is asking.
James is deeply upset
Defend
about
your
my,
point.
about my statement that was not all inclusive. I mean, honestly, it's got everything you could ever want from superheroes in general, I think.
It's got everything you would ever want from cinema.
It's got everything you ever want from It's got, I mean,
It has everything.
it has timeless humor. It has a character who has had, like powers thrust upon him, and he has to do things with them. He's great power, great responsibility, right?
Yep.
You have a overbearing parental figure, which I mean, that's just
It's
something
got
I like.
hormonal awakening.
It's got hormonal awakening.
for young men.
Which
It's
is
got
necessary
manic
for
pixie dream
superheroes.
girls.
It's got a lot of manic pixie dream girls. Most definitely.
It's a very 2005
It has
trope.
an edgy, super edgy boy who's got a soft, sensitive side.
This is the same time as like Zuko was
Yeah.
dominating
Yeah, this
girls,
is- yeah.
like middle school girls' binders.
It has Sasuke but better. It's everything you could ever want.
It
I
has
don't
great comedic relief.
Yeah, it has. I said timeless jokes.
Oh, okay.
It has fucking the bus driver.
It has Kurt Russell. He's like the great uncle of American cinema. I mean, what more do you need?
And if none of this sold you enough, it's in a high school.
And it has literally one of the greatest closing lines of. I would put it up there with the top 1,001
Yeah.
movies that AFI does. I would put it at the very top.
What is the line?
So my girlfriend turned into my arch nemesis. My arch nemesis turned into my
Best friend.
best friend, and my best friend turned into my girlfriend. But hey, that's high school. Banger. Banger. Every time I hear it, I'm like,
What I've Done, directed by Michael Blake.
but hey, that's high school.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is a timeless masterpiece
It's awesome.
that you
I love
cannot
it.
get back.
Every time. And then just the great soundtrack.
Yeah.
I do remember that song, the Bowling for Soup
Yeah.
cover of Melt for You or Stop.
Yes.
Whatever the
Yeah,
modern
yeah,
English
yeah.
song is
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
called.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah. I'm not saying that I didn't like this movie, you guys. I just wanted you to elaborate
Oh, we can
and articulate.
we elaborated.
James is like, I want us to actually podcast. You know, like, no, we're just going to talk about how great this film is.
No, we
with
can talk about
nothing
how
backing
good it
it
is,
up.
but talk about one at a time. Like it's a normal film that we usually review. You know,
It's not a
It's
normal film.
not a normal film.
Oh, it
This
feels
is peak
different.
cinema.
One of one. That's what I'm saying. But that's one of the things where I'm like, this movie, I think everybody in our generation,
Probably watched.
it just is ingrained in us.
Mhm.
And it's one of those movies where we'll be like 70 years old, like, you put on that sky high down there. Like, the way our parents talk about like Sunset Boulevard.
Mhm.
Well, I guess not Sunset Boulevard. Our grandparents would talk about Sunset Boulevard. Is how we'll talk
Some of
about.
our parents talk about Chinatown.
It's either here nor there.
Does it make sense then that all attempts of the sequel have been canceled?
I think it was just one of those things where everybody involved just kind of aged out.
It'd be hard to.
Because you can't really do a sequel without those characters because those
Yeah.
characters are so like great. Like
It-
it has like
It's one of those things where if you like take each component part and you try to put it into a different film, they are bad. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna crash and burn.
Mhm.
And like it's just like this movie had that spark where everything came together and it all made this like super awesome masterpiece. But no individual piece was like, okay, this is why it's good. It was like all of this has to exist in the exact same spot at the exact same time to get lightning in a bottle.
It came in a weird intersection between the 2000s where it was like the end of that weird like Gen X, new wave, like new grunge era, like going into like Green Day and like Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
But before we get to like the big time mainstream pop, and it's like it occupies that weird space where it just feels like this is what kids like. I just grew up being like, God, I can't wait to get to high school because I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna wear a
Yeah.
visor every day to class.
Yeah.
With an open
so
polo
cool.
shirt. Yeah.
And then you realize high school is nothing like that.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, this is the way, like, this is my Dazed and Confused for kids who watched Dazed and Confused when it came out, where you look at you look at older kids and are like, I wanted to be like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel about Sky High, where I was like, God, I wish high school was like that for us.
Yeah, I mean it does have pretty much all your favorite high school tropes. You got the nerdy kid, you got the jockey kid, you got the kid who's way too
bullies.
full of himself. You got the one girl that's definitely consumed way too much modern media and is talking about fascism and things that doesn't apply.
Is that the gerbil?
No, that's the
Danielle
redhead.
Panabaker.
Oh. Yeah.
She is very like
Yeah, who is she? Let's do that game. Who would we replace? What tropes would they replace?
but in modern
they-
media.
What
made
would
it.
she be now? Like,
I don't think anything
Normal.
would change.
Yeah, I was gonna say she'd just be.
she'd be a Reddit mod?
Yeah. It's just like you can actually cut
Reddit
and paste
mod.
that character into
Yeah.
modern media and nothing needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Like she fits perfectly.
She's vegan,
Yeah.
probably soy free, doesn't take a shower.
Mildly hypocritical because she
Mildly
talks about how she
hypocritical.
doesn't like to use her powers for anything except dire situations and then uses them flippantly throughout the entire film.
To be fair, the ending was a very dire situation. She was about to get thrown off the building.
No, like she used it to make the plants pretty in their kitchen and to show off her powers at the start. And then like a scene later, she's like, I only like to use my powers for dire situations. And I was like, that's a good character moment. I like that.
Did we just break this film?
No, I loved it. I thought it was
I think
great.
we just
it
broke
adds to her
James's
character.
brain, it looks like.
All right, so let's go piece by piece.
James is just mad I actually can break this thing down. It's like, well,
Yeah, so let's do that.
yeah. All right, let's go piece by piece.
The characters, main character, Will.
Good old Will Powers.
The goat.
What'd you say his last name was?
I said Powers.
Powers.
Stronghold.
Stronghold, yeah.
Stronghold.
Who's Will Powers? Why did my brain default to Power?
Why are we defaulting to Powers? Hold on, let me. It is
That's a
Stronghold.
thing. It's Stronghold,
It is
yeah.
Stronghold.
Who's Will Powers?
Will Powers is somebody.
It's somebody. It's in my brain.
Yeah.
It's
Go on.
Do we need to say it off mic? Just cut this out. I'll cut
What
the
is it?
music.
character from Ace Attorney.
Oh, wait, which game? Which game? Oh yeah.
That's not where I was.
Good old
not
Will
what
Powers.
That's not what I thought of at all.
No, Stronghold.
Yeah, Stronghold.
Yeah. Will Stronghold. Excellent portrayal of that awkward kid who has like the weight of the world on his shoulders, but is like going through puberty and probably had his voice crack a couple times during the filming.
Isaac,
I mean, I wanted to be him. Like I said,
Yeah.
he was like.
what about him inspired? Was it
Just-
just the fact that he gets his powers, or was it?
Was the
Little
fact
bit
that he
of both.
dated a really hot girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, yes.
Yeah.
Danielle Panabaker, not a big fan. But no, I just thought it was like, I don't know. There's something in there where it's like, gonna get a little emotion or
You can be personal.
open with you folks here.
Mhm.
But like there is that idea of like, you live up to your father's name, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the family legacy, and like seeing that portrayed in this medium of a superhero kid who can't get superpowers, I was like, I have betrayed you.
Yeah.
Like looking
He's
at
just
my
like me for real.
Like the meme of Dexter.
Yes, I have failed you. And I'm like, yeah, I could relate to that probably a little bit. I mean, I was 7 when this movie came out, so it probably
Yeah,
was not
it's
nowhere near as
not
accurate
relatable
as I
at all,
thought
but-
it was. But watching it at the time, I was like, yeah, hell yeah, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
be like my dad's son. Like hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I think a lot of that and like dealing with failure at the time, being a 7-year-old kid,
Mhm.
like it's the first time you ever really fail at anything, especially like just starting out school. Like, what do you mean I can't divide 4 divided by 3 evenly? Like, what the F, teacher? Stuff like that where I'm like,
What the flip?
it's like I'm an idiot. No, I think stuff like that. I think a lot of like trying to fit in with the cool kids, quote unquote.
Mhm.
It's something that is a theme that it's present in a lot of media, especially when it relates to, high schoolers and teenagers. But I mean, I think it's a very, very like it goes generation by generation where that sense of like wanting
it's
to
something-
belong with
yeah.
the cool kids is I mean, unfortunately, I think it needs to get touched on. But
Something everybody can relate to,
yeah,
even if it's.
I think for me
a
more than
negative
anything, he
trait.
was just I think you said it great there. Is just he was just a very relatable character. Like even beyond like, oh, I want to be strong and tough too. Like there's just a lot of those elements where I was like, I could see me and him
Yeah,
in a way.
Mm.
he has a very grounded perspective, despite the fact that he's from two superhero parents.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that one of the things I did like about his character arc is the fact that he's never trying to. Yes, he wants to like make his parents proud of him, but he doesn't necessarily want to be like them.
Yeah.
And at no point in the film does he ever say, like, I want to be, the Stronghold 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like he rejects that
He even
idea at
rejected
every turn. Like he just wants to be himself. He is just struggling to
With that.
Yeah.
with that.
He's going through puberty. It's really just a
He's
movie
just a
about
chill
puberty.
dude.
Yeah. He's just a.
I can't believe God, we have brain rot. We literally both did it at the same time. We have so much brain rot.
Yeah, I think that's really just he's almost in a sense like just something that everybody, regardless of situation, life, happenstance, can find something about him where you're like, he's just like me for real, for real. You know what I mean? Like he's just got that kind of aura about him where you can just be like, yeah, I mean, and if you can't relate to him, there's at least like 6 other people in this movie that are all pretty relatable.
I mean, I was gonna say the second one I relate to the most is Nicholas Braun, the guy who glows in the dark at night.
Oh, Zach.
I was
that
like,
the
yeah, I want to
character's
be
name.
him. I think it's also because I had seen him in like 4 other Disney Channel movies. Minutemen is still the goat. Where I
Guy's
was like,
funny.
Yeah, he's a funny
He's a
goofster
funny
gafster.
guy. He's a good chuckler.
He's one of them funny guys.
So we already touched on Lila, Danielle Panabaker's character.
Yeah.
Who you guys clearly have some thoughts.
Okay. Here's the thing, right? I sound like I think she's terrible and her character hasn't aged well. I actually love that
We're just
because
bullying her.
it's a very teenager thing to do, to be like, oh, I've read all these big books.
Yeah.
Like I know everything that's wrong with reality or with society and stuff.
I
blah,
read
blah,
the
blah, blah.
foreword to the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah, and then you're completely being hypocritical about it because you don't actually know anything that you've read. You don't understand it yet. You're just spouting stuff
Or
out.
how the world works.
Right?
Yeah.
You're just kind of saying things. And so I'm like, it's actually a really fun like look at how some of those people are at that age. I'm not saying that like her ideas are bad and that she's wrong,
Yeah, veganism bad. You heard it here first.
but there's something inherently like, again, kind of relatable about being like, oh, we all knew that kid who was like, this is fascism. And then like they'll back up and be like, but if I'm in charge, it's okay. Like, kind of thing.
That's
Like,
not her character arc, though. Her character arc
her
is
character
getting
arc
Will
is-
to love her.
Yeah, I never said her character arc was good. I'm just saying the character
I also,
concept was.
I understand what you're saying. I don't think that was the director's intention
Yeah.
at all.
I don't think it is either, but again, there's a lot of elements in this
I
movie
think that's
that if
actually
you
just
try to
you.
separate them-
It's like a
Your projection
Yeah.
onto her.
I think it's a mistaken like. Well, I mean, you interpret it how you want to interpret it.
Yeah, by all means, think what you will about her. She was my favorite character, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's fine. She's cool.
She's a great character. I mean, she's fun.
Always nice when the two
I just like the color green.
romantic leads are like a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
For me and my, I'm a big fan of the slice of life high school movies.
Yeah.
When they're like,
Slow burns.
when I'm like,
friends
oh
to
yeah,
lovers.
they've been friends since kindergarten. I'm like, yeah, they're.
We
We
knew it.
already know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
It was frame one. She was at their house like within 5 minutes. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, dude. I mean,
Every
wants
movie
you.
does it. Every movie does it. Clueless, Minutemen, like I mentioned, they literally live across the street.
That's
from
every movie.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, A Love Story.
Hold up.
I don't know if we should use her as an example.
War and Peace.
The GOAT.
What a name.
I love him so
Honestly,
much.
I did not get the joke of his name until this watching.
Really?
Yeah. Because I didn't. Every time I watched this movie, I was like a lot younger, and I didn't really know what War and Peace the book
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
So, they were like,
it's thematic to his.
Yeah.
It tells
Yeah,
you his
exactly.
character arc right there.
so when they said it, I was like, oh my god! I like literally paused the film. I was like, holy shit, cinema!
Same thing with Gwen Grayson. Because I had subtitles on, so when this popped up Gwen Grayson. And I was like, are we really gonna do like pun names this entire time?
Wait,
Like,
what is Gwen Grayson?
Gwen Stacy and Dick Grayson are two superheroes. Well,
that was
whether
a
Gwen
little-
Stacy
yeah,
is
yeah.
a
It's a little
superhero or
bit
not.
more of a.
Yeah.
You have to be a nerd to get that, I
Yeah.
guess.
They're Warren's a great guy.
War and Peace.
Warren Peace
That
is a
scene
great-
where he's in the restaurant talking to Danielle Pennebaker, I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
put this up there with like Michael Corleone punching Kay Corleone in the face. Like,
No, it's up there with
Chinatown when they go
Heat.
through the yeah,
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
put that up there with like Chinatown when they're going through the orange groves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like cinema right here,
Cinema.
baby. Sunset Boulevard, the ending, like this is just great.
Specifically the ending.
There's something about an edgy man who's obviously super edgy, and
And
then
he's
you
a
get to know him,
teddy
and
bear.
he's soft on the inside.
It's the full nature versus
and he
nurture,
reads poetry.
right? People treat him badly because of his upbringing, but the only reason he acts bad is because people treat him bad because he has a bad upbringing.
Yeah.
But he's actually not a bad guy.
But he's not a bad guy.
He's a bad guy, but he's not a
He's-
bad
you're not
guy.
bad.
He's just a chill dude.
I'm not doing it again.
Oh, damn, I thought we were going to do it again.
that
I
one's
was
all you.
excited.
You can do all that one. No problem.
The parents, the commander and Jetstream.
I mean, they are parents. They're just so dope because they literally get home and they're like the
They're
party
parents.
scene.
They're dope.
The party scene is like everybody get out. And I'm like, oh, this is Aura.
Yeah.
Like when they're just sitting there like this, I'm like, that's Aura.
What can be said about this? We haven't mentioned this yet. What can be said about this film is that somehow they managed to perfectly encapsulate an actual just like high school narrative
Yeah.
and also seamlessly integrate it with superpowers. Because at no point are you like, yeah, if you took the powers away from this film, it would be bad. Like it's still just a really good high school movie. And the parents add to that.
Yeah,
in
I
the
mean,
sense where they're
it-
like just parents.
it's-
Like they're just
it's-
people.
It's, clueless, but
Yeah.
with superpowers.
But they're sky high.
yeah.
Title card.
No, I think
Roll credits.
I think the greatest thing about this movie and a lot of the core weight to it of why we love it so much is because the three of them just work as a, like chemistry wise. Like they genuinely feel
Like a
like
good family.
like a
yeah.
good family, like a solid suburban American family.
Yeah. A very like nuclear stereotypical family too.
Yeah,
You know, the
yeah,
dad's
yeah.
kind of overbearing and he wants his son to be just like him and stuff, and the mom's the more like soft spoken, supportive one. You know, and
It's
just
not like mom's a crack addict and dad's a deadbeat. It's like
Yeah.
just
you know,
no
they're,
other problems. They
they're
have no
real-
other flaws other than
Yeah.
they're just trying to parent.
they're realtors in their spare time.
the scene where he's like, he has no powers, and he's like, he can always go in the real estate.
Like that's so real. Like that's such a like
I think my dad did that to me once. I was like, I'm not good at math. He's like, well, you can always be this. And I was like, don't want to, Dad, but thank you.
you know, just like the
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about. Obviously Gwen Grayson.
The GOAT.
Mhm.
The GOAT movie
the
villain.
goat. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. The twist that she was the pacifier, not the pacifier. That's the gun.
That's the third podcast in a row you've talked about the past. Next week, the pacifier, starring Vin Diesel.
No, because that's the gun. That she was Royal Pain.
Yes.
As a kid, blew my freaking mind, dude. I was like, whoa.
We were all Kurt Russell. Is Gwen. Gwen is the. Oh, she's like, Gwen is Royal Highness. And we're all like, yeah, we don't understand either, Kurt Russell. Just go with it.
Yeah. I think that her character is definitely one of the higher points of the film because she does that like, oh, I'm like a really nice preppy girl, but I'm also just a raging bitch.
Got a bad side.
like really well.
Yeah. Fellas, is it a capital offense that what she did? Because she's like 40 years old. Like, if we're going chronological, she's 40
Well, okay,
years old.
Here's my question.
Wait, we got to answer my question first.
I don't want to. That's the problem.
Sorry, so early 2000s, problematic time,
They didn't care.
unfortunately.
So did she keep her memories and like consciousness when
Yes.
she was in a baby form?
Yes.
Could you imagine being an infant with the mind of like a 30-year-old woman? That must have been torture.
That's like That's like that's like Benjamin Button.
Yeah, like that had to have been a terrible time for her.
I mean, she says that. She said I had to go through puberty twice.
Yeah, but like that's like a one-off joke. Like I'm thinking more of like wow, this must have really sucked. With her side, her whatever you call that henchman as the dad,
Yeah.
that'd be miserable. No wonder
Why
she
do
was a
we
freak.
think it's that specific time that she enacts her final plan? Like,
Because it was homecoming and it's the best time.
right,
to do
but
anything.
why did it have to be that year?
I think
Is it
was just-
because Will is
I think that's
finally
exactly
in
it, yeah.
Sky High?
I think she was planning on. She knew that they took the pacifier.
Right.
Um,
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning.
'cause
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had the, she knew they took
Yes.
the gun.
Yes,
I've
yes,
seen
yes.
this movie so many times, I didn't have to rewatch it.
That's literally the only part I forgot.
So like it was probably just to like, how do I get this back? And it's like, oh, I can manipulate the sun, kind of thing. I'm a fine piece of ass. I can manipulate this child.
Again,
This prepubescent
is it a
14-year-old
capital
boy.
offense? You decide in the comments, please.
She's
down
a
below.
villain. She can do capital offenses.
Anyways,
We're yet to talk about the best character in this film, Ron Wilson, bus driver.
Ron Wilson, bus driver.
yeah, I was waiting for the sequel, the spinoff,
Yeah,
when he starts fighting the giant villains. I was like, they should have made this a movie.
I love that. Again, the ending has so many good throwaway lines. Where it's just like, yeah, he fell into a vat of toxic waste, fights giant robots. That's it. I was just like, what?
It's also like this reminds me. This movie is kind of a spoof
yeah.
of the college. I mean, of the high school era movies. Like the whole like we need a ending credits of what everybody does after today. Like yeah, it's cool, but it's also a completely unnecessary in a lot of instances. And I think it's funny that they decided to go kind of wild with it. Like oh yeah, he fights Godzilla and Godzilla versus Ron Wilson.
Godzilla versus
as,
Ron
as
Wilson.
giant bus driver. I also
Yeah.
appreciate giant superhero. Still wears the bus driver uniform. Man's committed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only thing that fits him.
Yeah.
It went into the giant.
That's true. Yeah.
You think superheroes get 401ks? Bus drivers do.
That's facts.
He's like, I got dental still.
Yeah.
You think
I'm not quitting.
he still drives the bus, but he drives it like a toy car where he's just
Yeah,
like
like-
holding it to the ground and like zoom.
I got like 7 years of PTO banked up.
All right. So we talked about the characters
Yeah.
for the most part.
How do we
Talk-
feel about? Sorry, how do we feel about the sidekicks?
You mean the actual like plot point of the dynamic between heroes, or just like the
like
other characters?
characters.
The other
sidekicks.
characters, including the actual villains that
Yeah.
are on.
I mean, let's be honest. Those villain sidekicks were like such a perfect, like, oh my god, these are the hateable people.
The fat,
From my
the
life.
chubby short guy and
Yeah.
the long skinny guy is like
Yeah.
one of the greatest dichotomies anyone can ever do when it comes to character creation.
Yeah, it's like the
it
number
works
10.
time and time again.
It is timeless.
I love it so much.
The cheerleader girl who's so stuck up with herself that she can create multiples of herself. Great play. That's just funny.
Yeah,
Like
there's one more in there, or is it just them three?
it was those three. Yeah.
That's weird. Why are people outside right now? It's like 20 degrees outside.
I know.
Um,
Sounded like a kid too.
but the actual like the
probably the
side
downstairs.
characters out of the sidekicks. I mean, we already talked about Glow Guy.
I like the guinea pig girl.
Guinea pig girl is great.
It was clearly a puppet or like an like
So
an
a couple times where
animatronic
it's a puppet.
when they would cut to the close up of her chewing the wire.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is weirdly realistic.
Yeah.
Like this is not a real guinea pig
it-
and it's not CGI.
It was just perfect. They just and even like going off the other sidekicks, All American Boy, their teacher,
Oh yeah.
just a great example
Oh.
of a washed up
Living in the- living in the past.
Yeah. Literal peaked in high school
Yeah.
moment.
I feel like most of the characters sounded like they peaked in high school when they talked about their
Probably, yeah.
experience.
I mean,
Which again, it's very relatable.
I was
Just
gonna say,
watching this,
statistically,
like,
I feel like most Americans, no
Watching-
offense if this is you, do peak in high school.
you get to see
Jesus.
all these older people who really never grew out of high school just being like, oh yeah, my good old college days, throwing the pig skin.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Special
just,
effects.
I mean, it's a 2005 Disney movie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they aged for sure. There were a couple points I remember I was watching. I was like, I remember it being this bad.
Literally just Window XP drag,
Yeah.
frame by frame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
also
it's,
at
yeah.
the same time, some of them are really good for like that time. Like the stretching of
The
Lash.
cafeteria fight scene.
cafeteria fight scene, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. It's a
Like
good
if
scene.
you ignore the fact that you can very clearly see where they green screened on the flames from
Yeah.
Warren, they look like really good flames. Like
Other than for the fact that you can clearly see the green sleeves.
Yeah. Other than the fact that it looked like shit, it was cool.
oh, like yeah, it's just like there's some,
the
there's some
long,
stuff that
long
does-
stretchy boy.
Yeah,
He had
Slash
probably
does
the
really
best
good. He's
special
got just
effects.
really good effects. Also, just the costume design on him too, making his sleeves like the black and white stripes,
stripes,
like that helps for
yeah.
really good like stretching
Because
effect.
they always say that if you wear stripes vertical
Yeah.
or horizontal, it makes you look whiter.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's some good stuff. There's some really bad stuff. The rock golem dude, it looks like crap.
Yeah.
He looks so bad.
Yeah. Hero.
Big Larry.
Jesus. Let's talk about the comedy in this movie.
Timeless.
It's so
Next
good.
question.
I will
What is
admit,
there to talk about?
There's not a bad part in this film.
there was only
I have no problems with this movie at all.
there are two things that really stuck out to me. The first is probably the most realistic depiction of super strength because the dude just walks through walls at every chance he gets, just crashing through every door or wall.
I do love how they have superpowers and they clearly know, like they've been trained their whole lives. Like, hey, you have this special ability, be chill. But like the moment they don't have any adult supervision, they're like,
Yeah, they're doing stupid shit. Yeah.
like they're doing the dumbest stuff with it. I love it.
The only joke that really caught me off guard that I like paused and went 10 seconds back and had to rewatch and laughed a second time was when Will is alone in the Chinese restaurant and Warren is like, he comes up to him and he's like, I'm looking for Layla. Do you know where she is? And he's like, why would I know that?
Yeah.
And Will's like, you're taking her to homecoming. And Warren goes, oh yeah, that's right. And I was like, hold up.
Cinema.
I gotta hit that again.
It's my kind of humor.
It's exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a, like,
I love humor like that.
That joke got to me.
And there's a lot of jokes where they don't overstay their welcome too, because like with that, right? You
Yeah.
think like they'd play that out a little bit more. They'd be
That's
like,
true.
Oh yeah, like why do you know? And like and make this whole thing. He literally just says it, and he sits down. And they continue their conversation.
I do appreciate that about this film because I feel like a lot of other, and specifically movies made to this audience, this young of an audience, will play out every single joke.
Yeah.
To a point where you're like, this isn't even funny.
Yeah,
It's,
you
at
went
all.
too long.
it's
Yeah.
the pre-Marvel effect.
Yeah. And
Take a shot if you're playing that game.
this movie definitely, I think, is supported by the fact that they just fire through the jokes. It was written by the same people who wrote Kim Possible.
That explains
Which
it.
makes sense because
Yeah,
Kim
Kim
Possible has. I
Possible is
watch every once in a
hilarious.
while. I watch like a supercut of all the Kim Possible episodes. Bangers
After bangers.
bangers after bangers. Great, funny stuff.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like yes, it's a kids movie, but like you still have to write stuff that ages
Yeah.
well. Like there's a fine line, right?
There-
where
there's
it's not too adult,
Yeah.
where the kids won't get it, but you also have to like it's got to age gracefully, right? It's not like the '90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Cowabunga, dude.
Exactly.
Cowabunga,
My
dude.
Bummer. Anyway.
Yeah, I think the comedy in this movie has probably the thing that has aged the best, honestly.
Yeah.
I just the bus driver, like he's not meant to. I don't think it's like necessarily like a joke, but God, is he just every time he's on screen, I'm just like, when he's like, make sure you're here when the bus leaves. Bus waits for nobody except you. Like I'm just like that's just. It's great.
He starts giving out business cards to kids.
Yeah.
Business card.
Ron Wilson, bus driver.
Just so good. When at the very end, when he knocks Stitches or whatever off the bus, and he's like, "Only those who are authorized to drive the bus," and I'm the only one who's authorized to do that. It's
Jesus.
like- I'm like, why isn't this guy here?
This movie honestly doesn't feel 20 years old because that's what it turns 20 in July. Kind of
God,
wild.
does it really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kind of
I
wild.
hate
right?
that. If you gave this movie like a fresh coat of paint and effects and changed nothing else, it would be like it came out today.
Do you think better effects would have given it better reception?
I mean, it got.
had
It's one of the
great
It's one
reception
of the
when it
greatest
did.
movies
That's
of
what
our
I'm saying,
generation.
though.
Well, no, I'm just saying like you could take it now, and because like the only reason you'd be able to tell it's old right now is because it's
Oh, you want to go through like
like if it
George
just
Lucas style and
Yeah.
touch it up digitally?
yeah, like if you
want to
took
add
it,
the ooh wee
all you did was change it so that it looks like the like some of the imagery looked more modern, but you
Yeah.
didn't change anything else.
Four-
It could come out today as well.
4K. 6K.
Because I think it's just every part about it just still like ages to a modern audience.
I want to know if you could show it to a kid this generation and they would actually sit down and watch the whole thing, because we know that's damn near
Right.
impossible. I mean, have you tried
You have
showing
to
a 10-year-old a
You have to
movie?
put Subway Surfers. next
Yeah,
to it.
you got to put on friggin' Fortnite on the bottom half of the screen.
Mhm.
But also B, if they would still find it enjoyable. I don't know. If you have kids who are around this age, show them this movie. Report back.
Let us know what they think. Let us know if they find it relatable with their online classes.
I feel like
post-COVID.
I feel like they would. I feel like they would.
I think there's something about it that's relatable to everybody.
I think we would. I think
being
kids
awkward.
this around this era or this like decade
Generation.
would probably see this movie the way that we see movies from like the 80s, like the way
Probably.
we see like 16 Candles.
I
or
wouldn't doubt
Breakfast
if
Club.
younger people are more inclined to see this as more of a superhero film than they are a high school movie.
Maybe.
I could
yeah,
see it
probably just because
'cause it's-
we don't really get that genre anymore of high
Mhm.
school movies.
There's no new people in high school anymore. They're all they're all at home on their computers.
They're all in accelerated learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
All right, James. What's your next thing that you want us to praise?
Would you guys be interested in a sequel?
No.
I think that's one of the things that makes this movie so revered is that it's just it.
Yeah.
It
It's
exists,
just the movie. Like, it's the way I feel about a lot of Disney Channel original movies,
Mhm.
where it's just like, this is what you got.
Yeah.
An hour and 45 minutes. This is it. Like, there's no spin-offs. There's no universe. There's no prequel. It's just, this is the movie,
It tells a complete story, and that's all we need.
which I love, and it's a lost art.
It is, yeah. And what's great too is I made a note to bring this up is that not only does it tell a complete story in its time, but it did actually leave it open for this world to be explored in a way that like
Yeah.
because they mention stuff off the handle constantly.
Mm.
You know, like there's clearly some beef between the dad and Coach Boomer
Yeah.
that is never expanded upon except for like one
Yeah.
throwaway line where it's like Boomer did it again, like, and you're like, there's plot there. Like
I mean, they have a whole damn layer full
Yeah.
of.
they go into like the secret sanctum. The dad's like, oh yeah, here's like 4 or 5 villain names that we're never gonna reference again, but
like
like, they existed.
It's
and
like
you're
The
like, there's-
Conjuring.
There's story here. Yeah.
The Conjuring when they go into that room.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is the franchise. This is what it's
Mhm.
going to become.
But they never did anything with them. Like
Yeah.
that's all you need. Like you set up a world to make it feel real. You told your story in it, and then you don't go back to it.
Would you guys be interested in a reboot, remake?
Only if it had the original cast and they
Yeah.
played the same roles.
And they
they
didn't do
did it
any
like
and they
the-
didn't change anything about the
If they
plot.
did it like Wet Hot American Summer,
yeah. Same people.
40-year-old actors playing 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
same
kinda funny.
people, same actors.
Yeah.
No digital effects to de-age them. I want them to look like
You
40-year-olds.
still want them to go back
teenagers.
and
yeah.
Yeah.
Window XP it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same effects.
Only then would I accept it.
Yeah. And I want him to leverage into that. I want him to lean into the fact that it's old people playing teenagers. Right
Yeah.
now.
Did you have something to say?
No, that wasn't right.
Best superpower in the movie?
Best superpower? I mean, Will's is pretty good. He flies and he's strong.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just Superman, but budget.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's sick.
It is. It is pretty cool. I don't know. The
Because
glowing. The
Kurt
glowing's
Russell
pretty
doesn't
nice.
fly,
True. You might as well
so
fly.
it's like best of both worlds.
Yeah.
He is the Messiah. Listen, Al Gaib.
glowing's
no,
great.
other
I'm not
than
gonna lie.
him,
The glowing
The
power
glowing
is
is
pretty fun.
great.
It's one of those powers where you're like
the glowing power is cool.
it would be super helpful in ways you wouldn't expect, and you're like, sometimes you just want that as just a really generic power.
I've always been a fan of speedsters, so
Mhm.
super
Really?
speed is always something.
Super
that I'd
speed's
be
also
like,
pretty
I'm
cool.
the opposite. I hate super speed. I think it's a dumb ability.
I would just love to get anywhere instantly.
Yeah.
Like I could wake up 5 minutes before work and just
and just be there.
be
yeah.
at work. And
You could wake up 30 seconds before work and be at
Well, I
work.
still gotta change.
You're super fast. You can change super fast.
Oh fuck, that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
You can change, shower. You can do everything super fast.
It's either that or teleportation.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't have to.
Which
I
wasn't
don't
in the
want
film,
to.
but-
I don't want to go.
I actually really
That's
enjoy the technopath or whatever
yeah?
power she called, where she can just
Techno.
make technology happen.
It's like
Is that what?
technolepathy
yeah.
or something like that.
Technolepathy or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
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 I also appreciate that they played in the joke of it being like, oh yeah, I was a technopath, whatever it was, in like the 70s when technology didn't really have as much of an existence, so nobody knew what the hell I was.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a good bit. Couldn't fly today.
I like shape shifting. I think that's probably the
Shape-shifting
One piece
is
guinea
cool.
pig.
I like the joke that it's a guinea pig
Yeah.
and that you can only change into one thing.
Yeah.
Because they show another guy who can shapeshift,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but she can only do it into a guinea pig. And I was like, that's interesting. And the guinea pig keeps her hair color.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
got purple
yeah,
streaks.
I thought that
yeah,
was
yeah.
funny.
It was a good bit.
It's a good bit.
Good bit.
Where would you guys rank, or do you have anything else?
No.
Where would you guys rank this in terms of Disney Channel original movies?
I haven't seen a whole lot of them, so this is like top. This is like number one.
It's like this, Lemonade Mouth, Minutemen, High School Musical 2.
I would put High School Musical 2 up there too.
Have you seen High School Musical
And
2?
which one of us is the gay one here?
I grew up with sisters.
Same.
So did I. They just didn't like High School Musical.
Well,
I watched
Jump
every
Up.
other show. Jump Up.
Let It Be. That's a good one.
I like the Beatles.
That or Let It Shine. Sorry, Let It Shine.
Oh, okay.
No, hold on.
Camp Rock. Stuck in the suburbs.
Camp Rock.
Yeah, I just didn't watch a whole lot of these films.
You didn't watch them enough.
No, I just
Yeah.
didn't see these movies.
I mean, yeah,
wasn't a Disney family.
I'd say it's up there for me too. Probably an A.
Only an 8?
What?
I've seen like maybe 3 Disney Channel original movies in their entirety.
Yeah, and Sky High should be in the S tier.
I don't think any of them are S tier, in my opinion.
They're all S tier.
Yeah.
There is no
question.
bad.
Yeah,
There is no bad Disney Channel original movie.
They're all S tier. No, I'm not having nostalgia bias.
Yeah, I have no nostalgia bias either. Funny.
Speaking of Disney Channel movies, this is kind of off topic. Did you guys see Holes is getting a reimagining?
Oh yeah,
It's a TV show though, right?
It's gonna be a TV show.
is it gonna be gender swapped or something? I think I read.
Yes.
I don't.
How do we feel? Do we have thoughts?
No.
It's more of just like my general thought is just like, why with the question mark? Because I don't think it changes anything. But like, power to you. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I have no thoughts whatsoever.
Yeah.
Good or bad. Neutral.
I
It
probably
kind of
won't
just makes
watch
me want
it.
to go watch the movie again.
I was like the
Or,
original
like,
The first
Felix
one is so
was-
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another great
Yeah.
one.
Maybe we cover that next week
Should we just do Disney Channel movies
for the entire month
all
of
52
January.
all year.
all 52 weeks?
There's probably more than 52 of them.
There's definitely more than 52.
Well, you know, we can do like High School Musical.
I was gonna say, Sweet Life on Deck is like
We can do like
Oh,
the Sweet
yeah.
Lives,
You can do the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Lizzie McGuire
Again, that's like
movies.
10.
Cheetah Girls.
Cheetah Girls can be a week. Cowbells,
how many Hannah Montana movies are there?
Yeah, Hannah Montana
2,
movies.
I think. Because there's one and that was in theaters. One went out.
Uh-huh.
Good Luck Charlie.
That had a movie?
Yeah, we could
First-
definitely fill
first time I'm hearing
We could
this.
fill 52 weeks. with it. It'd be
I mean, think of
super
all the
easy.
popular shows.
They all had movies.
Think of the lead actor. That lead actor is probably in like 6 of them.
Yeah.
Even Stevens have a movie.
That's right. I remember that one.
So a lot of them had just like made for TV movies that were like an hour
Wizards of
long.
Waverly
Yeah.
Place
Do you feel like the made-for-TV movie underrated?
should come back. Absolutely.
I was gonna
Well,
say
I
also
was gonna
Lost Art.
say the issue with saying it should come back is that I don't watch TV any longer.
Because TV isn't really a thing. It's
Yeah,
you
it's
watch
all
a streaming
streaming.
show.
I
yeah.
would watch TV if it came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I love TV. I've mentioned multiple times on this pod that I love just scrolling through the guide and being
Yeah.
like, what am I going to put on right now?
Yeah.
But
It's
even
6 o'clock on a Tuesday.
you can
what am
still
I watching?
have made-for-TV movies with streaming.
Yeah,
Breaking Bad did it with El Camino.
There's a certain level
but it's
of like,
slightly different.
Yeah.
those are more, like, to me, it feels like they're not as professional when they're made for TV, like
Mhm.
in the old days. Like, very clearly a step down in budget, very
Mhm.
clearly a step down in like talent. So with like Netflix, it doesn't feel the same. A, because it just doesn't look the same because they have that weird, super washed out look.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's just like $300 million movies are being made for Netflix, and it's like, I don't really want to watch this on my TV.
Yeah, and like it also was like it was a cultural thing because you'd be like, you'd be watching your favorite shows
Yeah.
and they'd be like, this season's finale is a made-for-TV movie, and you'd be like, guys, we're gonna watch Adventure Time for like 2 hours on a Saturday. Like, oh my god,
Dude, I'm
they're
telling
gonna
you,
fight Gorb.
I
Like-
still remember the greatest day in Disney Channel programming. It started off with the Miley Cyrus Jonas Brothers music video that led into the Miley Cyrus and Jonas Brothers crossover episode that led into High School Musical 2 that led into Phineas and Ferb. I still remember that.
I do too, because you've talked about it before.
Like stuff like
just
that.
like, oh my god,
I'm
shut
sitting
up.
here like mouthing along because I know exactly what you're gonna say.
All right, you had your Chinatown, you have your
No, I'm not making fun of you for it.
No, I know.
Listen,
I know I bring
we've
it up a
talked
lot.
about bad movies, also for good movies.
I bring it up a lot, but I'm just saying, like that goes into kind of your point of like
Yeah.
these were events.
yeah, these were things.
and
that
now
happened,
it's just like, hey, by the way, Squid Game season 3 just dropped, and season
Yeah.
4 is next week, or sorry, next like 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb had good movies.
I've never-
Phineas and Ferb
never
just had
seen
good.
anything from Phineas and Ferb somehow.
Really?
Phineas
I
and-
wasn't a Disney person.
Oh, fair enough.
Phineas and Ferb is so good.
I'd say I somehow managed to avoid it my entire life.
If you like good music, you like Phineas and Ferb.
But I don't like
There's
good music. We've been
104
over
days
this.
of summer vacation.
Anyway,
and school just
besides the
comes
point.
along to
Besides the point.
end it.
Any
So
final
the
closing
annual
thoughts?
problem of our generation is finding a good way to spend it. Like maybe. Jeez, you really
I
left
kind of
me.
just want to let that hang and just throw up the.
You killed me. You killed me on that one.
I haven't seen the show.
Bowling for Soup, come on the podcast.
Yeah, Bowling for Soup really carried Disney Channel.
Yeah,
No kidding.
for the whole 2000s.
I think there's another song they did.
There's a
Anyway.
I
bunch.
can't think of it. Well, yes, but I meant specifically for
They're a
Disney
band.
Channel. They actually released a thing called albums, Isaac. It's like
That's crazy.
I feel like LeBron.
High School Never Ends, or whatever that
yeah,
song
oh
is
my
called.
God,
Yeah,
that's a good one. That would be a good
totally
one.
not the
Okay.
melody to it.
Yeah,
but
no, it's
whatever.
definitely wrong. I could see them taking Sky High and doing a Sky High 40 years later, and just doing the same exact plot
Yeah.
and then the final song is just High School Never Ends.
I feel like it's
You
gonna
could
be.
do that with any high school movie, to be
Yeah.
fair. But
I feel like it's gonna be a Disney Plus show at some point.
Maybe.
I mean, if they're redoing Holes. Well, shut up. What more is next?
I can fix that.
The brain of a 5-year-old over here. Jesus Christ. Listen, my opinion of this new series.
Doc.
My opinion of this new series will be based solely on how many memes it produces.
What does that say about you?
I just like funny stuff.
I was just saying, that's more telling about you than the show.
I just like funny things.
Fair
I like
enough.
funny things.
Isaac getting on me for lightly snorting.
It was not lightly.
Holes.
It was not lightly. I saw the level.
You saw it go up? Oh no.
Yes.
Oh jeez. I'm gonna hear it. We're playing it back.
Claire goes lightly. Straight into the mic. That was not light.
Holy shit. I'm on the verge of tears. It's just a funny
All
little
right.
moment. Oh, that's a clip.
Anyways, that was Sky High. That was great. That was
Yeah.
a fun
A
little
movie that
episode.
we all enjoy. Some of us a little bit more than others.
Some of us a lot more than others.
Some of us a lot more than others. There's a clean divide right here where you go, good movie, timeless masterpiece. Peak cinema that'll never be topped. Just a good film.
I enjoyed myself. Yeah. A tier.
James, would you consider this a movie?
Does it exist?
It's a good movie. I just don't have the nostalgia for it that you
I
two
don't have
have.
nostalgia.
Hold up.
I was gonna say again. I watched it today and walked away like, damn, that movie still holds
I
up.
watched it my freshman year of college and was like, this is still great.
Yeah, it unironically, my genuine opinion of Sky High is that it is an S tier timeless masterpiece that I will be able to watch 30 years from now and still think it is an S tier timeless masterpiece. When I'm a brain in a jar because the world's gone to shit.
I love it. Cool.
It's a good
All-
film.
No pun intended. All the more power to you.
Like maybe. All right, that's it for us.
What's next week?
Probably another Disney Channel movie. I don't know.
I've been fuck it.
We're getting good vibes. Minutemen,
That's a good one.
I
High
haven't
School
seen-
Musical. You haven't seen Minutemen?
I haven't seen any of these movies that you
my
said.
God.
You listed out like 15 films. I haven't seen any of them.
Dude, Minutemen is so peak. It's time traveling. But it like actually makes sense.
I mean,
We're actually gonna do Xenon Girl of the Future.
We'll
Start from the
do
beginning.
the Phil in the Future. Phil in
Yeah.
the Future movie.
oh, that name sounds so familiar. Phil the Future.
Phil in the
Phil the
Future. You
Future?
don't
That
know
was a
Phil in
TV
the
show.
Future?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Xenon Girl of the Future was Disney Channel original movies.
Okay.
Phil of the Future was a TV show.
Phil of the Future was the family that's from the future, got stuck in the past. That is verbatim the first words of the song, the intro.
I also remember that the high school that they go to in that show is H.G. Wells High School.
Yes. Yep.
Classic.
Only one fact of that show.
Or
that
we
sticks
should
out
show
in my head.
James a Power Ranger series.
We can do that.
We pick the series, but it's got to be like a deep cut.
I'll say we're gonna need to know beforehand so I can go watch it.
It's got to be like Time Force
Oh my god.
banger. That's not really that much of a deep cut. Everybody likes that one.
No, I really like Star Wars.
All right, comment what you guys want us to
Yeah.
do because we'll probably do it at some point.
Yeah, we're a nostalgia podcast now, so whatever thing from your childhood. you want
January
us
is
to
looking
watch.
back on the past.
Yeah, it's not like
So-
we have anything better to do once the winter storm hits.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's no.
We
there's
won't
also-
have power to record anything.
There's also no movies coming out for like the next 17 years. It
Yeah.
feels like.
So yeah,
Oh.
let us know what you guys want to see.
Golden Globes. Did you guys watch that? The Golden
No.
Globes were.
I saw the
few days
Bear
ago.
won Best Comedy again,
Yeah.
even though it's
Not
not a
funny.
comedy.
No.
I
didn't,
don't.
I didn't see anything.
I saw that the
other than that
Brutalist
one.
one, and I'm like, I immediately went and was like, "What's the Brutalist?" It has 4,000 reviews on IMDb, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is Oscar bait. Like, this
Yeah.
is bullshit." Dune 2 not even winning, and I'm fucking throwing my phone away.
When somebody, when
Get the shit out of my
a
phone.
friend showed me the list of all the nominees for both comedy, musical, and for drama, and I was like, Dune 2 is the only film I have seen out of all of these.
and it's
Yikes.
somehow not gonna win.
Yeah.
Just
I was
so
like-
stupid. Award shows are dumb. I hate award
They're
shows.
just popularity contests at this point.
Not even because nobody watches these movies. That's my problem with them.
But that's it's popularity for the wrong reason. It's just like internet popularity versus like actual.
Yeah, it's popularity.
It's not popular.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways,
Bye guys.
bye.